called Heartprint. Their mothers have their fingerprints there. My little grandchildren will leave their heartprint behind when they go to a better place, a better school after age 6. That is also our responsibility, that they go to a place where they can adjust themselves like any other child outside. On 7th of January 2018, early morning, my boys from the prison crossed another milestone in life. I think they created another history. For the past 10 years, they have been performing in public auditoriums where they were on stage and the audience was in the auditorium. There was still a fine line. But that morning, they mingled with 12,000 marathon runners and they ran the marathon with them. There was no wall, no barrier. It was pure joy of inclusiveness. So I'm proud to be there. I'm proud of them because they have not only made a difference to my life. I think if the society really highlights their transformation, I think many people in the world will want to be transformed and see the light. আজ তোমাকে এত কষ্ট দিয়েছে, সেও তো আমারই সন্তান, কষ্ট পাচ্ছে অনুতাপে, অনুশোচনায়। আমি তো মা, আমি তো ক্ষমা করবই। তুমি ওকে ক্ষমা করে দাও, তবেই ও মুক্তি পাবে।
কেন এই হিংসা দেশ, কেন এই ছদ্মবেশ, কেন এই মান অভিমান, ভিতর ভিতর প্রেম ভাসানো হৃদয়ে, ভিতর ভিতর প্রেম ভাসান হৃদয়ে, জয় জয় হোক তোমারি, বরিশাল ভরা মাঝে শান্তির বাড়ি।
Well, I think the documentary spoke a lot. But you see, it was all a very emotional, unplanned beginning. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of heart, not much of the head. As I keep repeating very jokingly, that because I have so little of it, that's why I tie it up with my turban, so that the little that I have also doesn't evaporate. But you also need that to continue with this project, if you call it. Academically, you can call it a project. Touch World came into existence, the organization, which is an NGO, much later. Because I didn't even think of doing anything concrete as such. But gradually I realized that I had to have an organization if I wanted to continue with this. And it was necessary. Then with the children, to educate them, I needed a proper organization.
I couldn't do everything alone. That's how Touch World was born. I had to have that word touch somewhere, because that physical touch made a huge difference to their transformation. I've spoken somewhere that nobody touches them. You know, some NGOs, sometimes they go once a year to tie Rakhi. That's the friendship band. But they have told me that we feel so scared to tie it around their hands, especially the men. We really feel scared. But things are changing. I know of many who are from a very privileged background. They're also, for some reason or the other, they also sometimes land up there. Maybe they're not criminals, but for something they that had gone wrong, may land you into the prison. So people are realizing, and when they see their performances, even the police who accompany them, before the program begins, they're extremely strict and apprehensive that they will run away somewhere and their jobs will be at stake. But eventually they sit in the auditorium and they watch the program. And when they leave, then they clap and they pat them. So you see, the change is not only within them, it is also the society, the authorities. So I think it is so necessary to treat everybody as a human being. We can make a mistake, but that shouldn't stigmatize us for life. What we needed to do was give them that support. But as I said, because our organization is very, very small, with very few people, because it is difficult to enter the prison. You know, if I want to do something, I just can't walk in there and start doing something. And when you can't see what you are going to do or the work that you want to do, and you don't see what the people, one loses interest and the motivation. So that is why we are just left with a few people who are involved with them directly. And the others, somewhere, they leave. Not for any other reason, because they want to be actively involved and directly involved. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not just do something with pen and paper. But that is so necessary, because it is impossible to spread this whole work if I don't have that organizational capacity of Touch World. That is where I suppose you all can come forward, help, give suggestions, practical suggestions that can be incorporated by us, or we can sort of, if you give us suggestions, we can think on it, something practical, so that others can come forward. For instance, you know, I don't know if you will remember that man with the long beard which is combing. He's been there for 29 years for committing a murder. He's not a criminal. It was a situational action. But he's there for life. I need legal assistance for their premature release, which I can't do. For that, we need the funds to be able to hire people. See, if they can't be actively involved voluntarily, at least if we have the means to give some remuneration to the professionals, we could do it. I don't even have an office because I cannot afford it. For all these productions that you see, some of them, you saw bits of it, it's really, really costly. You know, the rehearsals, the recordings, the costumes that we have to make, the props, they make it. They make those costumes. But I have to provide them the raw materials. And these are really big productions involving 60 people. Where does the money come from? From my pocket. When I initially started all the productions, I had to, somebody would sponsor part of it, but the rest of it I had to do. I've even heard when I approached one or two people, they didn't tell me on my face, but they told others that she's glorifying criminals. She's glamorizing criminals. Why should we support that? But what we don't realize is sometimes they are not all criminals. Some of them are. I wouldn't say there aren't any. But some of them are. But not everybody's a criminal. One of them probably went and tried to save his wife who was being molested. And when he hit that man, he died. He had no intention to kill him, but he died. So he had to serve a term for life. He's having to serve a term for life. So we need people to give them that legal support. For the productions, yes, I spend from my pocket initially, and then they are invited where I don't have to spend. There have been times when I had to sell my jewelry because I couldn't back out. I was halfway through and then I couldn't back out. I had to complete that project. So I sold my jewelry and some people told me, "Are you mad?" I said, "No, I'm not mad. Those jewelry are lying in that locker of that bank for years. I released them too. So they are also released from jail. Otherwise they would have moved from one jail to another. So they are also coming into some use. I'm not going to take them up with me. But that's a different story. I don't have any more jewelry for the next production. So then I have to, approach people for funding. Yes, there are one or two corporate houses who fund for their education, who have been funding not just for their education, which we used for their education. But now I do need, if I want to continue with this work, you see, the productions are important, the performances are important, because there people can see them. Otherwise, they can't go to the prison and see them. So when they see them, they do have some feeling somewhere. They are emotionally motivated to help. That's the whole idea. To bring out the best in each human being. We all have faults, but we are all good. All that I have tried to do, all that Touchworld is trying to do, is bring out that goodness in them and project it to the society that nobody is all bad. When you tell somebody, "You're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad," you will begin to think, "Yeah, maybe I am." But if you tell the same person that yes, you can do it, you're good, and you can do it, it happens. And my boys and girls have proved it. None of them are dancers, but when you see their production, when they're on stage, they give all of themselves to prove that they can. And they can what others can, and they can sometimes do it better. I would request you to help Touchworld to be able to support. You can give ideas. What I need to do now is spread this work to other parts of the country and the world for others to take it up, so that each prison in the world can transform human beings. Because I don't think anything, this is not impossible. It is possible. Last year I had gone to the US and I went for a conference on Shakespeare in prison for 3 days They do have a lot of theatre, especially Shakespeare, in many parts of the world, in the prisons, but all their performances are confined within the walls of the prison. Nowhere in the world do they go out and perform, give public performances. This is the first time, and I think the only state in the world, or only country in the world, they do it. But when I went there and they saw this documentary, they said, you know, we cannot even think of it in our country, that they will go out. And they whispered, said, you can call it the touch world, but here we are not supposed to touch the prisoners. Why? Why? If just a little physical touch, if you hold somebody's hand, and it can change a person's mindset, why can't we touch? So they invited me to one of their prisons in Los Angeles. I went and took a session. I don't have the video, but I do have some pictures which I can share with you. I will share with your professor, and he can send it to you. Where they are dancing with me to, firstly, an Indian, so I was not prepared. I didn't even think I will be allowed to enter a foreign prison. They danced to a Sufi song, Khwaja Mere Khwaja. Many of you may know that song. They danced with me. And then I thought that let me try an English song so that they can relate to it better. So I chose the song from Titanic, My Heart Will Go On. And at the end of it, they just wanted to keep on doing it. And they told me that they saw the video and they started calling me Mama Roy. You see, I'm hatching eggs everywhere. And I became a mother to those prisoners as well. And they called me and says, you know, Mama Roy, something in the head felt free after we danced. So probably they will be introducing dance in the prisons there. I don't know if they already have. I'm not really in touch. So probably they have. So this is how things spread. Now what I need to do is I can take the prisoners along with me everywhere. I need to go and speak in the different universities, especially where they're taught criminology, to the law universities, to the legal institutions, to the jail authorities in all parts of the country and the world. Even for that I need funding. So I will do the work, Touchwell will do the work, the volunteers will do all of it. But I will need, Touchwell will need your help to guide us to do that. So that, you know, the world will be a better place. And there are so many zones I work in. I work with the juvenile offenders. They're a different story altogether. Because when they come out, you know, juvenile justice is a lot more liberal. So they are not convicted easily. So when they are released, the school maybe reluctantly take them back because they have to, but they're always sneered at by the other students, their friends, and also by the teachers. So what do? They're dropouts. They don't want to go to school. And what do? They go back into crime because that is where they're accepted. That is where they feel comfortable. That's their comfort zone. And they go back to the observatory homes. So this becomes a huge problem for the society, and in this way we will be breeding more criminals. So I would like to have a school just for them. Maybe it's going to be an open school education, but let them at least have that education. For everything, I need support. Financial, and otherwise. If I have the finances, I will be able to at least hire people to do the work. Otherwise, I don't know. It will, good things remain. Any good intention will remain, but we do need a lot of support. Thank you so much for listening to me so intently, and I hope I have been able to share my feelings with you all. Thank you. If you have any questions.
Yes, maybe there are questions. Any questions?
Yeah.
So you said that the prisoners, they did all different kinds of crimes and there's no difference between what they did. So there's murderers, there's whatever, it's all kind of crimes and they're all put in the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have all committed different kinds of crimes. All those who are in my team, my children. And
Asking whether everybody faces the same kind of sentence.
no. It depends. It depends on the kind of crime they have committed. A burglary will have a different. Not everybody is a lifer there. So that's why they keep going out, they're released, and new ones come in. So it's, as I said, it's like a Broadway show. The characters and the people change, but the production remains. So, but there are quite a few. I have about 15 lifers in my team, including women. Yeah.
Ma'am, at morning still they were these prisoners running for a marathon and then they were free to go wherever. So how did you manage to create a sense of trust in the authorities? How did you control them?
When one walks into a prison, they lose people's trust. They lose their own self-dignity, self-esteem. Everything goes with it, right? But if the trust comes back, if they are trusted again, when you lose something valuable, then only you realize the worth of it sometimes, right? So once they had lost it, if you give it back to them, they'll never want to lose it again. When we travel by trains, they are the ones who keep watch. The guards who go, the police, they sleep all through the night. My boys keep watch so that in a weak moment, somebody does not do something that they shouldn't do. And that's the trust. When you trust somebody like we do now, they will never betray it. They haven't betrayed it so far, touch wood, and I don't think they will. Because everybody wants to hear that they are good. They've been hearing that they were written off completely by everybody. But once they come back with their trust, they will never want to lose it again. Even when they were running the marathon, there were police with them. They told them, we can't run so much, you go and run and come back. And they did. Any other questions?
Yes.
Do you have another job? Do you have another job? Like, how do you find the money and the time to do all of this? How do you?
I don't know. Yes, I'm so involved in this whole thing that it's become a part of my life. Just as I had taken care of my own children, they are my children too. So I have to find time to take care of them as well. And if you really want, if you're committed to something, you will find time. And that is one thing I've learned over time management. I do a whole lot of things. I work with the transgenders as well. I work with the juveniles, but I'm not as involved with the juveniles as I am with the adults. Because there are, with the juveniles, they just come and go because they're not there for long. I need them for a period of time to be able to change their attitude, or I wouldn't call it transformation, because I didn't go there to transform them. If they were transformed, it's their credit. But they have transformed me. You have to know how much time to give. If you give even 2 or 3 solid hours to them, the job is done. I go and spend hours with them, just sitting and chatting. I don't make them dance all the time. I share their stories. I've never asked them ever why they're there. They'll only tell me when they feel like it. But I don't know how to get rid of the red tapeism. Like one of my boys, she knows, she's one of my pillars sitting there. She runs the school, she's taken charge of the school inside. I don't even have to worry about that. So I have to have the right people. And this boy, his son is ailing, almost dying in a village in Purulia. And with all the red tapeism, it takes a week, 10 days to get the permission for him to go and visit his own child at home. I would like to help their children, their families, with some medical support. Because most of them who are languishing in jail are the ones from very, very, very humble background, where they can't even afford. Maybe the breadwinner of the family is in there, and they are struggling to survive. They have not committed to crime, but they are the ones who suffer the most. So we need to, Touch World is committed to support their families as well. So I've got all the medical papers, the tests and all. So I'm speaking to somebody here, so the child can be brought here. But I also have to make arrangement for the mother to come and stay here. So, it's a lot of work. I can get a free admission in the hospital here, the government hospital, for his medical care. But somebody has to come and stay. So there are so many little pockets that need to be taken care of, for which I really, really need proper organizational support, which honestly speaking, we lack. Any other questions?
Could you just details on your team that is supporting you? How many volunteers? How do you work with the dancing of the organization?
I do it practically alone. Yes, about the dance bit. Because I had taken a few assistants, but it's not easy to work with them. It's not easy. Unless that bonding is formed, they don't listen to you. So I have to be there constantly, even if I have somebody to assist me. And for the school, she's the head of the school now, and we have 6 volunteers who do it for free. So everyone goes twice a week. So they give those 3 hours twice a week to go and be with these children. And also we have this adult literacy program in the women's jail. They're all, I wouldn't even say uneducated. 95% of them are illiterate. So that literacy program is very important. Without education, nothing will happen. Nothing will change. So she takes care of the education part. And in the men's jail, I'm all alone. Because women are not allowed there. Maybe then they thought I was a man. That's how I was allowed. And now I'm a mother. So mothers are allowed. But no sisters, no friends. So that part is almost single-handed. And but the school is taken care of. The education of the women's team is taken care of by her and my other volunteers.
One last question. Then
Yeah.
Nelson, you ask me.
Are you making egg